Welcome to the Warmaster podcast. Today is the start of a new series of videos, and they're going to be titled Under the Bonnet. These are not particularly a 101 because they assume a level of knowledge. So if you want to learn the game, this probably isn't the place to learn it. You can learn it from Peter Lamb on the Lamb. He's doing his series of videos. You can also watch quite a few battle reports out there, and you can see other people have done videos to that those ends. So this is a different video. This is about stuff that goes on within the game. I'm not claiming this is for like advanced players only or anything, but it's certainly for people that have played a few games and are starting to wonder how the cogs intertwine and how the game actually works. So one of the things that is talked about quite a lot is how effective cavalry are compared to infantry. And there are a few reasons for that, not least of which is the fact that cavalry tend to have more armor. And they tend to have a short base, so they're 20 mil, so that when you charge, you can get more bases, therefore more attacks on a shorter battle line. So if your battle line's 120 mil or 12 centimeters, you can get three infantry units, 3 infantry stands, so say like 9 attacks, and the same amount of bases would be double that for cavalry, so you could get 18 attacks, and if they were charging, it would be an extra attack per stand, so there'd be 24 attacks. So as you can see, 9 versus 24, that's quite a big difference. So one of the things is around the actual mechanics of how big the base is and the orientation of the base. But the second and a more integral part, if you like, of the game is how difficult infantry can be to order compared to cavalry, because of the fact that you are getting an enemy near disadvantage modifier of -1 when you make that order within 20 centimeters, which is what the order you need to get them into combat, because they can only move 20 centimeters. So most infantry charges will take 2 orders. The only time it won't is when you're charging, and instead of using initiative, you want them to charge something different, so you give them an order rather than use initiative. But the vast majority of infantry charges will need 2 orders, and that's what this is talking about. That key mechanic and how it affects the gameplay. So the aim of this video is to show what we can do to mitigate this problem of the second order and having its enemy near negative. Okay, so and that's what we're going to talk about: effectiveness of various characters giving a 2-order infantry charge. Quite a wordy intro, but that's what we're doing, episode 1. And so then we're going to use tables, because I'm a mathy type of guy. This is using the hero as a benchmark. So if we look, hero first order would be an 8, because that's the hero straight leadership, and second order would be a 6, because they've got to get 1 for their second order, -1, and minus another 1 because they've got enemy near. So the outcome of that is you will get that second order off. You'll get the 2 orders off, the first order and then the second order, 30% of the time. So 3 times out of 10, which ain't great. What can we do to alleviate this issue? Well, we can use our general. So the first order would be a 9 and the second order a 7. And that would give us almost 50% chance. The only thing normal people can do is use an elf general with a gamiest or a dwarf general, and you can get to 66%, so 2/3 chance, which is more than double what a regular hero, who's the guy that kind of maybe performs this order the most often. And then on the flip side, you've got like a regular wizard has a 16% chance, and a Saurus or a goblin wizard or whatever has like a 7% chance. So you ain't got much chance of that happening. So what we want to look at is, this is why elf generals are so good. Not just because of the fact they can order cavalry well, they can actually order infantry better than anything else. And in an upcoming tournament that I'm playing, not tournament, a kind of online league, I'm actually using vampire accounts, because one thing they can do, and lizardmen can also do in a different way to a certain degree, is they can mitigate the problem of ordering infantry. The second order for vampire accounts, because they don't have enemy near, means that a vampire count hero has 42% chance, which is far nearer to a general's level of order of chance than it is a regular hero. And the vampire count general, who needs a 9 and then an 8, has a 60% chance, which is far nearer to an elf general than it is to a regular general. And even the vampire count wizard is he's nearer to a hero than he is an actual wizard. So vampire counts have that inherent benefit. Tomb Kings share it, but the problem is Tomb Kings infantry are terrible. They have good cavalry, but their infantry are garbage. I don't want to charge anything with the infantry. So let's have a look. We did some more slides. We did a slide here that shows the baseline's a hero, and it shows that vampire heroes are, we just did the percentages, are closer to general than hero, and the vampire count general is closest to elf general, and elf general is absolutely miles ahead of everything else. And then it shows we're going down the other way. And I also did, just for my own benefit, I also did it benchmarked against a general, a regular leadership 9 general. So you can see here again, I mean, it's obviously the same table, just templated with a different benchmark. So there's nothing crazily different about it, just the general rather than the heroes are benchmark. And if we look here again, we can see that the vampire count general is almost as good as the elf general. Obviously not as good, because elves is better than everybody. And the vampire count hero is significantly better than a regular hero. And this, again, highlights the massive, and I've talked about the issue of the orc general and obviously the goblin general, because they fall into the same category. The massive issue that orcs have is because, in my mind, orcs are an infantry-based army. I know you can play them cavalry-based, and that mitigates some of the problems. But the chance of getting that second order off orc general is the same as anybody else's hero. So it's like, what did we say? It was 30% chance, wasn't it? 3 out of 10. So yes, you can mitigate that again by having lots of heroes and lots of little brigades of infantry. But I'd rather. Can we go backwards? Yeah, we can go backwards. So if we had an orc general here, it's 30% chance. We can use a vampire count general. He's twice as likely, 60% chance, 6 out of 10. And an elf general is 66% chance. So more than double the chance of an orc general. Depends how you like the odds. Do you like rolling the 3 out of 10? So this short video was just talking about the underpinning of why it is so difficult to get that second order off, and what you can do to mitigate it. Well, A, play something that's undead, or B, play some elves, if you can stomach it, or dwarves, but not chaos dwarves, regular dwarves, or finally, play lizardmen. And I'll talk about them in a future video, because I don't want to get, because they're even more tricksy. But again, they can do things that make their orders more like a regular general. So their heroes can order like a regular general. So you can have multiple generals until stuff goes wrong, and then things go badly wrong. So it's not without its danger. Anyway, that's a quick under the bonnet video, the first of hopefully 3 that I'm recording today. So you'll see this Jim Beam shirt at least 3 more times before I have a break. And I will speak to you next time.